Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to Season 2 of my breakdown videos. Now today we have two teams, Manchester City and Man United. Now these guys are playing against each other in the first Premier League, in the first Manchester derby of the season. Now it should be a really interesting game. Basically my breakdown videos, for those of you who don't know, I basically show you some facts, possibly starting lineups, some sort of stats and previous games which I've played, and then I'll give you my prediction. This is all obviously with the background gameplay of the computer playing itself in the Manchester derby. Now it is at Etihad Stadium and kickoff is 4 o'clock I believe. And it's at home at the Etihad, like I say. But in the last 5 games, Man.City have had an alright results against the last 5 teams they played. They won 3-0 in the last game. I think I was in the Champions League, Europa League or something. That they won 3-0 in that game. However, the game before that was against Stoke. That was their last Premier League game, and they drew 0-0. So that was quite a disappointing result from that. And against Hull, they managed to beat them 2-0. Again, they were quite lucky in that match. Cardiff, however, they lost to 3-1. And Newcastle, they beat 4-0. So mixed results there from Manchester City in their last 5 games. However, Man United, very similar, in fact the same. They've won 3 games, drawn 1 and lost 1 in the last 5 games, which is exactly the same as Man City. Now, except Man United have beaten Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League, Crystal Palace in the Premier League. They lost to Liverpool 1-0, drew to Chelsea, and then they went and beat Stoke 4-1. Swansea 4-1. And last time they met, Man City beat Man United 2-1, but that was when Man City were away. Now, David Moyes and Manuel Pellegrini, it'll be their first Manchester derby, and that should be interesting to see how the two teams sort of line up, because they've not played each other before. Them two managers haven't played each other anyway, as their Manchester teams. So it should be really interesting to see how that goes on, and whether Man City will dominate, because they both had very similar stats. They're both on 7 points. Manchester City just ahead of Man United, I think, on goal difference. But yeah, they both got 7 points from 4 games, and Man City is 6th and Man United is 7th. So it could be a really interesting game, and it could be an interesting one to see how the teams line up. Now, the teams from their previous game against Victoria Plazin or something, I think that's how you pronounce the name, they played a pretty decent team actually. I was quite surprised. I was expecting to put out a weak team, but they put Joe Hart, Zabaleta, Company, Nastasic, Kolarov, Yaya Toure, Fernandinho, Navas, Aguero, Nasri and Dzeko up front. Now, that to me is quite a strong team. Obviously, there was no Negredo starting. I think he might have been on the bench, I'm not too sure. But to me, that was a very strong team. So it should be interesting to see whether they put out a very similar team to that, whether Negredo starts or not, whether Jovekovic, I think that's how you pronounce his name, whether he's on the bench or whether he starts. I doubt he'll start. I reckon Aguero will probably start. But yeah, it should be a very similar team to that one, I would imagine. Possibly without Dzeko up front, maybe Aguero and Negredo, or Dzeko might be up front with Aguero and Negredo on the bench. Now, Man United's last game was against Bayern Leverkusen, and they had De Gea in net, Smalling, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra playing in defence, Valencia, Carrick, Fellaini and Kagawa playing in the midfield, and Wayne Rooney and Van Persie up front. Now, whether that will be the same lineup, I don't know, but I would have thought it'd be very similar to that, in that De Gea will obviously be in goal. Smalling might be playing right back again, I don't know. I'm not too sure whether Raphael's got an injury or something, maybe that's why he didn't play. But I would have thought Ferdinand and Vidic will probably play in the centre, unless obviously Ferdinand gets replaced for Smalling, and then Evra playing on the left. Now, in midfield it could vary quite a bit, whether they play Tom Cleverley instead of Kagawa or Ryan Giggs or something. But it'll probably be Valencia, Carrick, Fellaini Fellaini and Cleverley possibly. If it's not Cleverley, then I'd imagine it's probably Kagawa or Giggs. And then up front, I do think that they will have Wayne Rooney and Van Persie playing up front. Whether it's Van Persie just ahead of Rooney and Rooney slightly further behind him, I don't know. We'll have to see about that, but it'll be some form of 4-4-2 formation, I would have thought. And with Man City, I think it'll be some form of 4-2-3-1, unless obviously they decide to go for the 4-2-2-2, which would mean Negredo and Aguero playing up front, and then Jesus Navas and Nasri playing in the centre attacking mid roles. So that should be interesting to see how they line up against each other for the first time, like I say, with two new managers. But United's only win in their last 5 Premier League away games came at the opening weekend against Swansea. So that's their only win in the last 5 Premier League away games. That is not particularly good, and it came against Swansea, so that's 4-1 that they beat Swansea. And last season, City and United beat each other away from home in the Premier League. United won 3-2 at the Etihad Stadium in December, and City won 2-1 at Old Trafford in April. That was the last time they met, I think. Manchester United have won 6 of their last 10 Premier League meetings between the two clubs, with City winning 3. So a bit of a difference there. Man United with 6 wins in the last 9 games, and City with 3 wins in the last 9 games that they met. And United have won 9 of their 16 Premier League trips to City, who have had 5 victories. They have only been 2 draws between them in the last 16 trips to Man City. So yeah, like I say, it should be a really interesting game. I believe it is on Sky, like I say, 6 o'clock kick-off, 22nd of September, so it's a Sunday match. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I think I've given you the lineups. Oh, my prediction. Now, my prediction, I kind of want Man United to win in a way, because I've got a fantasy football team and I've gone and put Wayne Rooney and Van Persie up front, so if they go score, that would be really good. But then I do want Man City to win, because I'm not a massive Man United fan. I don't really like them, to be honest. But I would like Man City to win, but then I'd like Man United to score a few goals as well. So I would like it to be a big scoreline. I doubt it will be 4-3, but that is what I would like it to be. But my actual prediction, I think, is going to be 3-2 Man City instead, but I hope it is something like 4-3 Man City. That'll be a pretty good game. Hopefully there is loads of goals, because when the big clubs have met each other in the last few times, like Man United Chelsea, that was 0-0. So I'm hoping it's not one of them games. I'm hoping it's quite an open game, and there's lots of shots and lots of passes. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this, then go leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching Season 2 of my breakdown videos. I've been GameFace, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.